Hi, welcome to the 7th video of A Drop of Excel. If you have come directly to this video, please go ahead and look at the introduction first and then the first 6 videos and then come back here to continue learning. So now we are going to learn about how to work with a large set of data. So a lot of you must be facing these issues on a daily basis when you get a lot of data and it seems intimidating how to work with it. But we'll try to use simple techniques to manage this full, long, big data, right? So the first thing that we are going to learn is split data into multiple columns. So I'll give you a simple example first for understanding, and then we will actually get into a practical use case of where you'll understand how to really use it. So one example is, let's say your data is comma separated, A, comma B, comma C. Second example is your data is space separated. Third is with a semicolon, and fourth is with a hyphen. So we'll do this one by one. So I'm going to click on my first cell. Under the data tab, there is an option called text to columns. So it typically means what it says, text to columns. So split your text into multiple columns. I'll click on that. Here it is very important that you choose the option delimited. Then you press next. Now you have to tell Excel that my data is separated by what? So is it separated by tab? No, it is separated by a comma. When you do that, you see a preview down here. Right? Now you don't need to press next. You can directly press finish and boom. Your data has been split into 3 columns. So originally what we had was A, comma B, comma C. So the first value remains there. The next value goes to the next column and the value after that goes to the column after that, and so on and so on. We'll do this one more time for space. So I'll go to text to columns, delimited, next. Now in this case, it is not a comma, it is a space, and finish. Similarly for semicolon, text to columns, delimited, next, not a space, a semicolon, finish. Now in this example, in the hyphen, I do not have that option here, right? So I will go in other and put a hyphen there. So I can put any one character here, whatever is separating my data in the file. So I put a hyphen here and I click on finish. So now you understood how to use this. Now we'll take a practical example. So I'm going to go to 7.12. Here you see a data set which said, let's say you have extracted from some other system and you pasted it here. Now it looks very complex. You don't know how to work with this. I've seen many people splitting this data manually. Now you need to carefully observe that each of this data is split by a hyphen. So there is a hyphen here, a hyphen here, a hyphen here, a hyphen here. So what are these hyphens for? On the top, the headers are also there. First is customer ID, then name, then a gender, then a date of birth, and then a city code, right? So what we are going to do now is we are going to select the entire column. Click on text to columns, delimited, next. In other, you will use hyphen. It was already there because we just used that. And then we click on finish. And immediately your data has been split. Let's just adjust the column widths. And you see that the date of birth is in a wrong format. So we'll do a Control Shift down and a Control Shift 3. And here we can bold this. So in no time, your data has been pasted perfectly. So this was about text to columns, right? Splitting your data into multiple columns. Now we will learn about sorting. So I'll go to 7.21. Again, we will first learn single level sorting and then we will do a multi-level sorting. So what do I mean by single level sorting? This is my data. I have the SKU names, I have the cost price, I have the sell price, right? Now in the data, I want to sort this by the highest sell price being on top and then the lower ones below. So I'm going to keep my cursor on the sell price, and in this data tab, I'm going to click on Z to A, which is next to sort. Boom. All my data has got sorted in descending order of sell price. If I click on A to Z by clicking in sell price, it becomes ascending order. Similarly, if I keep my cursor in the SKU name and I click on A to Z, it becomes in alphabetical order. Z to A, reverse alphabetical order. It's easy. So this was sorting on one level. Now we'll go to 7.22 and we'll sort on multiple levels. Now what you see here is a long data set, right? So you have your country, you have your male, gender as in male, female, you have your city, you have your SKU name, lot of things. So what we are going to do now is we're going to, instead of clicking on A to Z or Z to A, we're going to click on sort box. Now what we're going to tell Excel is I want to first sort my data by country in A to Z, so that all Indias come together, all USAs come together, right? Now within each country, I want to sort my data by city, so that all Surat come together, all Chicago come together, all Mumbai come together, all New York come together. Within each city, I want to sort the data in descending, means largest to smallest order of the sell price. You can use any other columns the way you like it. Try different options and see how it works. So country, then city, then sell price in descending order. When I press OK, see, you see that the entire India country has come first. Within India, you see Ahmedabad has come together, and then you will see Chandigarh, Hyderabad, Jaipur. Now within each city, you see the sell price has come in descending order. So Ahmedabad is continuing till here, and then suddenly Bangalore starts with the highest sell value. Easy? So this is how you use sort with multiple layers. There is also a function called equal to sort. So I put a video link in the description below. Please go ahead and check that out as well. Moving on. 7.3, which is filter. So now we're going to learn filtering. Filtering. So what is filtering? Basically not deleting your data, but only viewing the data that you want to view right now. Okay. So again, I will say it will not delete any data. It will only show you the data that you want to see right now. So on top, I will click on the filter again in the data tab. Now in this, I will go to country and I will select whatever country I want. So if I do not want to see data of India, I can remove that tick, or if I do not want to see data of US, I can remove that tick. Now we'll take a little different example. We'll take an example only of a particular customer. So let's say I remove all. So I say select all, remove. I only take Aaron Johnson. So here you see that Aaron Johnson has placed two orders till date. Order number 1752 and order number 2033. Right? And this is that data. Now within Aaron Johnson, I want to see only data of a particular SKU, which is a speed rope. So when I do that, I come to know that he has ordered both the speed ropes on 20th January itself in the same order. So he has ordered two speed ropes. Interesting. We'll clear the filter. So to clear the filter on top, you can click on clear. We'll take another example. I only want to see data of Mumbai. That is where I live. Mumbai. Within Mumbai, I only want to look at data of yoga mats. So this is the data that I get only of Mumbai sales of yoga mat. And in terms of date of birth or the order date, so when I'm talking about a date column, I can even go here and I can say I want to see data only and only of this year. So it will only show me data of this year, that is 2020 right now. So this way in date filters, you have multiple options. You can use these as well to filter your data. Again, there is a function called equal to filter. I've put a link to the video in the description below. Moving on. Remove duplicates and unique. 7.4. So what we are now going to learn is removing duplicates. Now when you look at this data, it is having multiple orders together. So first what we are going to do is we are going to sort this data by customer ID and bill ID. Alright, customer ID and bill ID. So I'm going to click inside the data, click on sort, first say customer ID, then bill ID. Now why we are doing this? So that you get your customer data sorted, right? Within each customer, you get your bills sorted. So now what has happened is, if customer 100001 has two orders, both the orders have come together in ascending order of the bill number, bill ID. Make sense? Right? So I will not have a 100001 anywhere else in the data below. It will all have come together. Now, what we are looking for essentially is, so I'm going to copy this data, Control A, and I'm going to just go here and paste Control V so that we don't affect the original data, right? So now what we are going to do is we are going to click on remove duplicates in the data tab. Now in this, I'm going to unselect all the columns. So how it works is basically I want a unique list, right? I want a unique list. So I'm going to unselect all the columns and I'm going to only tick on customer ID. Now what will happen when I press OK? If the data has 7 customer ID rows of 10001, right? There are 7 rows, suppose. It will keep the first row as it is and it will remove the other 6 rows. Make sense? It will only keep the first row and remove the other 6 rows. So essentially why we are taking this particular example is I basically wanted a list of all unique customer IDs with at least one order detail, one detail of a particular order. So when I click OK, it tells me 8452 duplicate values found and removed and 1312 remain. So there are totally 1312 customers. So now you see the customer ID. There is no repetition in customer ID. You have got all the customers only once in this data set with one sample as in the first in the order record. Clear everyone? This is how you use remove duplicates. Another way was that I would have just selected this column. If I did not want the order details, I could have pasted that entire column here and just did a remove duplicates with only that one column and boom, same result is appearing but without all these details. Again, one more thing that you need to know is there is a function called equal to unique. So if I say equal to unique and if I take this entire column, I close the bracket, please observe the formula and the formula bar, unique B2B, and I press enter. I get that same result with the formula. This is very, very useful so that tomorrow if you add another entry, I'll just show you here. So here you see 101700 as your last, right? 101700. If I go here and I add 101711, now when I look at this particular data, I have that value done coming here as well automatically. Why? Because we chose B2B, the entire column, whereas that value did not come here because this was a static selection and a one-time pull out and remove duplicates. So this is the difference between a static method and a dynamic method using the unique function. So like this, as I've already said, equal to sort and equal to filter functions are also available in Excel. You should learn those two because those are also dynamic in nature the way equal to unique is. So this was the first dynamic function that you ever learned. This is extremely interesting and very, very useful. Alright, so again guys, pause the video here. Please try to do this 2-3 times yourself before you move on. Now the next two things are pretty simple, but until now we've learned certain things that you might have not known at all, right? So please do those 2-3 times and then move forward to free spains. Cool. Going to free spains. Now again, you have a large data set. Now what happens is when you scroll down, you forget whether this was the order date or this was the order date. I know it is simple to read here, but if you have multiple date related columns or multiple number related columns, you tend to forget what column is what, correct? So rather what you should do is you go up, you click on A1. In the view tab, you go to freeze panes and click on freeze top row. Now when you scroll down, wow, my top row is right there. I don't need to go up and check what column is what. Easy. Go to freeze panes, say unfreeze panes. Now again I'll keep my cursor on A1 and I'll say freeze first column. Now when I go to the right side, my bill ID is not moving. I can see my bill ID all the time. So that's your freeze first column. I'll click on unfreeze panes. Now a lot of people ask me how to freeze multiple rows and columns together. So I have again made a video for this long back. It is there on my YouTube channel as well. I have put a link in the description below. It was one of the most widely seen YouTube video from my channel. So guys, please go ahead, have a look at that video and learn how to freeze multiple rows and columns using this option. Alright. Moving on. Printing. So this was about freeze panes. Now let's look at printing. Now you want to print this entire data of 2510 particular bill IDs, which is 9855 rows of data and columns up to L, which is 12 columns. Now when you go to print, you go to file and print, or you press the shortcut Control P. When you do this, you get this, right? This is not covering all your columns, right? City was not the last column. So first what we are going to do is we are going to learn about print active sheets, print entire workbook and print selection. Active sheets means you are going to only print this particular sheet. Entire workbook will print the entire workbook with all the sheets. Okay. Now we'll just go back. Now I'm going to select some data. Okay. I've only selected 10 rows of data. Now when I press Ctrl P, I still don't see any difference, but if I click on print selection, it will only print those 10 rows and nothing else. Alright. Instead of landscape, if I take portrait, it will print in portrait. This I believe everybody would know. This is the paper size. You should keep it standard if you're using it at home or a standard printer. Margins. I can widen my margins. I can narrow my margins. I can keep them normal. This is again depending on your printer. So there is no standard way to do this. Very, very important is no scaling. So when I go to no scaling, I get an option of fit sheet on one page. When I do that, it looks like this. Okay, because I have taken only 10 rows. But if instead of print selection, I had said print active sheet, this is how it looks. It looks stupid, right? Because you're trying to fit all the 9800 odd rows into one single page, right? So that doesn't work out. So you're going to say fit all columns on one page. So now what happens? All your columns are on one page, but your rows are in multiple pages. All right. This is extremely useful. Fit all columns on one page. Now, when I scroll down, I don't see my headers coming up, right? Like freeze panes, what we did, we don't see the headers coming up here. So there is another method for doing that also. You go to the page layout tab and you click on print titles. In that, you click on rows to repeat on top and you click on this one on the left side. So here it will get highlighted and here you will see $1, $1. Now when you click on print preview from here, or you can go to Control P in that, when you scroll down, you see that the top row is right there and it is going to get printed on each page. Extremely, extremely useful. So that was all about that I wanted to share with you about working with a large set of data. If you have any questions in this video, please put it in your comment section below. And most importantly, please like, share and subscribe so that I can also put lot of more content like this, and this can be shared with multiple more people for them to learn. Thank you so much for watching. Looking forward to see you in the 8th video. Thank you.